Mike, that's a really solid way to break that 4-game losing streak for your team. What was the most pleasing aspect of this afternoon?
Well, I just think the collective energy of the group. Number one, I thought that, led by KD right here with the 36 and 9. But you saw our bigs, and I would say Ice and Jarrell and Trez scored 47 points, 24 assists and 3 turnovers. And then, we tried to do some different things out there defensively. And I thought the groups did an amazing job of just staying engaged in the game. There's runs and there's ebbs and there's flows. And we were playing well and then not playing well, but they stayed together collectively to end up getting the ultimate deal, which was the win.
What did you make of the first 3 minutes of that second quarter? They threw a zone at you, and you shot 6 3-pointers in a row without response, which was incredible.
Perfect. I mean, I think we're the first or second in 3-point shooting percentage, but we're also 9th or 10th in attempts. So one of the things that I've talked about with the group, I mean, obviously if you're first or second in percentage, it means you need to shoot more. You need to shoot more threes. That's what we did. That started with this guy, and I think Nick Marshall was the benefactor of some of those threes right then in that window. If I'm thinking about when Nick probably scored his 9 points, was right there in that window.
And for yourself, Kendric, a huge game tonight, 36 points, as the coach said.
0 turnovers.
And 0 turnovers. Actually, I was going to point out about the turnovers that you had 3 as a team for this whole game, and I mean, to be honest, we can't recall for a long time a team that's had only 3 turnovers in the game. So looking after the ball must have been really good for you tonight, Mike.
Well, it's this guy. I mean, that question's for him. I mean, he's handling the pressure. He's got the ball in his hands 90% of the time. Give credit to Nick and Keanu and Trez and Jarrell and the rest of the guys too of making it happen. But he's a ball secure guard. He gets us into our stuff. He creates our offense. He sets our defense. I mean, there's probably nothing more that this guy doesn't do. And we ask him to do a lot, and he carries the whole burden. And he still fights me when I take him out. And that's a good thing because he's competitive and wants to play the whole time.
Kendrick, you might have slipped your way into a bit of the 36ers history as well. I mean, we know that Davis has done some work here in Adelaide in the past history of this club, and you are doing some at the moment now. I believe those 3 consecutive 30-point games. How's it feel to be just rolling off those numbers since you returned?
Honestly, I don't care. I think y'all care more than I do. As long as we get the win, I get to sleep at night. Because when we lost last game, I could care less about the 37. I just was mad we gave that game away. And I don't do well after losses. I can't sleep, and I'm just up thinking. So I'm glad we got the win.
So what's the difference between coming up against Bryce Cotton last week and then coming up against PJC tonight? Like, as in, what kind of is that like on the battlefront side of things? 2
great players. They both different and dynamic in different ways. When Bryce don't have the ball, he's most dangerous, and PJC's dangerous when he had the ball. And yeah, man, it took 49 of Bryce, all 49 to beat us. So, I mean, if we're gonna go out that way, at least we got to go out with 49 of them.
Certainly, a couple of games into the season, we've had some import guards the last few years, and definitely a couple of games in the season, we recognise that your work with the Santa Cruz Warriors we were going to see in terms of the offensive side of things during the season and that. So how much of that experience comes into what you do now, particularly these last couple of games when there's been a few guys out and you've been called upon?
Yeah, I think Coach came to me before the guys came out and was like, we going to need you to be you. And I put in a lot of work, like extremely hard work. And yeah, man, Coach challenged me to be me, which is, defensively, get into the ball, make sure everybody gets shots, just be me. And I wanted to answer the challenge. And still not happy, though, because we still got a lot of work to be done, a lot. But, yeah, man, I just want to be me, and I know it starts with me, so when I'm clicking, we clicking.
And how are you finding settling into Adelaide in Australia and that? You liking it here? You got some favourite spots that you love to hit up now?
Yeah, Jarmer's Kitchen. I go there every day. Chris Jarmer's and Breathe, the recovery. big shout out to them because I go there every single day, and they look out for me with my body. I'm big on taking care of my body. I sound like an old head, but yeah, I'm big on taking care of my body in them two spots. They look after me, but not just me, the whole team. A lot of the guys go to Breathe to get recovery, cryo, and Chris Jorman's down the street, cook the best steak. So take care of us, coaches, and we just thankful for it.
Yeah, KD, after your comeback game on Sunday, Mike talked about how you live and breathe basketball. I mean, basketball is your whole life. I mean, we don't need to talk about the circumstances behind it, but how tough was it having it taken away from you for 2 weeks, and how good is it to now be back playing?
Super tough. Just watching the guys go out there and struggle, I kind of felt like I let the team down with my emotions a little bit. Yeah, man, I was at home sitting just feeling bad because, Coach built this thing around me and Trez, DJ, and we was hot. It's hard to do anything when you build something around people, then in the blink of an eye, you got to, even the role guys wasn't, adjusted to that. So I just felt bad, man. I felt like I let down the team, and I just want to respond in a big way.
I think I can speak for everybody saying this, that it's so much fun watching you and Trez play together. Is it as much fun playing with him as it looks like it is?
Yeah, man. He brings all the energy. So I'm kind of laid back, and he's kind of like super hyper, so it mixes well in a way. I'm kind of like mellow, chill, and y'all know he's up in a 10, so it's perfect. We need him to be who he is, so it's perfect.
Mike, you're pretty happy with the fight that the team showed tonight. They took the momentum off you in that third quarter. I think they were back within 2 by three-quarter time, but then you hit back and dominated the fourth quarter. You're pretty happy with that side of it?
Well, yeah, I thought that, we played there was a will and a resolve, and we stayed together. And, of all the other defensive stats, we held them to an 18-point fourth quarter, and that was the difference, right? They were on a scoring run. We had to change our defense a little bit. I had to stay with the group, changing a few things. They were listening to what we were in because the New Zealand kept subbing, and we had different matchups and lineups, and things were changing and moving fast out there. But, offense is going to come and go, but to go ahead and get that defense set finally in the fourth quarter is the reason we won the game. That's what we want. We want to hold somebody under 20-point quarters. They started off with 22 in the first. I think they had 27 and 27 in the second and third, but then to get it dialed back in the fourth and kind of set the game, that's huge for us. And, ultimately we needed to protect home court and get a win.